And so we've reached the lore that has come from the game and its expansions. In the years that followed the Soulflare's downfall and the fall of the Gurubashi Empire, trolls loyal to Hakar, deemed the Atali, discovered that in order to revive their master, they would need to do it in the shadowed capital of the Gurubashi, Zul'Gurub. These priests were able to successfully revive Hakar, bringing down a second reign of chaos across Stranglethorn. The Zandalari caught on to the Atali schemes and sent a small force to settle Yamba Isle off the coast of the Cape to rid Stranglethorn of the Soulflare once again. However, the Soulflare had already grown in immense power, bringing the Zandalari to call upon the heroes of the Alliance and Horde to enter the profaned capital and slay Hakar. After numerous wipes, guild disbands, and game-breaking bugs, the heroes, along with the Zandalari, were able to successfully end the Low's reign of terror. With the threat of Hakar gone, the Zandalari trolls sent to Stranglethorn packed up their things and departed for their homeland. Fast forward a few years and the war against the Lich King was raging in the far reaches of Northrend. The Zandalari, having heard of the strife occurring in the Drakari Empire, sent a small band to record the fall of the Frost Trolls to the Scourge. During their time there, the force uncovered that the Drakari were sacrificing their own gods to obtain their power and in hopes it would help them fight off the undead. Sadly, this would prove futile as the Drakari Empire fell, leaving only scattered remains of the Frost Trolls. It is important to mention that among the Zandalari sent to record history was a troll named Zul. Zul, a prophet of the Zandalari, was shown a vision of a terrible cataclysm that would bring the world to its knees. He saw a giant armored dragon clench Azeroth in its jaw and bring about its destruction. He saw waves of serpents rise from a fissure on the sea floor, waves and earthquakes that would crack the hull of Azeroth. He saw his sacred Zandalar slowly begin to sink into the sea. Zul tried to warn God King Rastakhan, ruler of the Zandalari, but he would not listen nor would he act. He demanded for the king and council to abandon their doomed homeland and settle elsewhere. They did not listen. Soon Zul's prophecy came to light upon Deathwing's return. The world, especially Zandalar, was heavily damaged. The land itself had cracked and riches had fallen into the sea. The Zandalari people had turned to their king for aid, but he did not listen. There was only one well off enough to help the Zandalari from their new hardships: the prophet Zul. Zul rallied all those he could with promises of a new home, a new start, and a new empire they could call their own. He commissioned for a fleet of ships to be constructed by his followers, and when all was said and done, the Zandalari people had forged one of the most powerful fleets in all of Azeroth. Zul and his followers took their golden fleet and left Zandalar and those who remained to their fate. Under the prophet's leadership, the Zandalari called for a meeting between the troll empires and tribes of old. Zul and his Zandalari met with representatives of the Yamani, Gurubashi, Drakari, and Darkspear on the Isle of Yamba. There he offered them all a chance to rebuild their former power and scope under one banner, and to crush any foolish enough to stand in their way. The Gurubashi, Amani, and Drakari all agreed and accepted Zul's proposal. However, the Darkspear declined, for they were a part of the Horde, and if the Zandalari were to bring about a war, they would stand against them. With 3 of the 4 main tribes at their backs, the Zandalari went about recapturing and rebuilding Zul'Aman and Zul'Gurub, thus beginning the war against the Zandalari. The first act of war the Zandalari committed was to capture Stranglethorn. Attacks were launched against Fort Livingston, Bambala, Gromgol, and many other places. However, the Darkspear, having spied on the new Zandalari, issued a warning to both the Alliance and Horde, prompting the very adventurers that aided the Zandalari in years past to successfully defend and save the settlements of Stranglethorn. After, the heroes of the Alliance and Horde set aside their differences and invaded Zul'Gurub, defeating and killing Jindo of the Gurubashi before he could subdue Hakar the Soulflare to his will. This prompted the second fall of the Gurubashi. Around this time, Zul'Aman had also risen to glory again under the leadership of Dakara of the Amani. The Blood Elves of Silvermoon, along with the Darkspear, led a force personally oversaw by Vol'jin into Zul'Aman, crushing the Zandalari and the Amani stationed there under Dakara, prompting the second fall of the Amani. Defeated, Zul and the remaining Zandalari looked to the south of Azeroth, seeking the aid of the Mogu that still remained on the now-revealed Pandaria. A few months after the cataclysm had ended and Deathwing was slain, the Zandalari, under command of Prophet Kar-Zul, made a landfall on the continent, going about reallying themselves with the Mogu by reviving Lei Shin, the Thunder King. With the Mogu at their back, the Zandalari were told to make Pandaria their home by Zul. However, with the Alliance and Horde also making landfall on the continent, the Zandalari and the Mogu were beaten, Lei Shin killed, and promises of a new home broken. Sometime after their defeat on Pandaria, Zul and his followers returned to Zandalari for unknown reasons, prompting a battle between Zul Zandalari and God King Arastakan Zandalari. The continuation of their story is said to be played out during the events of Battle for Azeroth. Thanks for watching.